Hey, it's H here for Countertrend Capital, and on today's video we're taking a look at TON. This is again one of those that has risen so much in the last bull market that we ought to take a look at it. Now this is pretty new of a coin, at least here on Gate.io it was once named the Open Network. I'm not sure if that has changed, or is it just TON nowadays against Tether. But again, this is a chart that we generally have starting from around late 2021, and most of the charts that we have are not this far away, but that's the reason I chose Gate.io. It might have some weeks like these ones that we see here, but I'm trying to look at this on higher time frame so we can potentially ignore some of these. But let's get going. Again, this is a chart that I have not watched before, and we're just going to be looking at this from a wave standpoint, from clean slate, basically nothing on the chart, and just creating an analysis for it right now. So where do we see a low? We can see that here. That is 74.5 cents, and the high that we currently have $7.67. So that is a 10x. 10x and 1000% basically. Currently viewing it on regular scale. This is the log scale version, and we can obviously see already the two possibilities, or at least I can, where again, if we are looking at log scale, we can see clearly that there is a potential three-way structure already formed, and however, I'm not quite sure if this is done yet. On a weekly time frame, we can see that the RSI that I'm using, that my own indicator, is giving us signals that we are very much oversold here on weekly around 90 RSI, which is very much. We don't have any divergence yet, but that might be coming later once we get this last structure in play. Now, obviously, if we are creating some kind of a web structure here, looks like more of some kind of diagonal. It's not really a good looking one. I think we need to have this as a expanding leading diagonal into wave A if this is the bearish scenario, wave B here, because again that is the lowest point, and then looking for a C wave upwards. Now at this point even, we are getting closer and closer to the 1.6 minute extension, which generally means that we are starting to favor the more bullish idea overall. Let's take a look at closer to the C wave here, internals. Internally, let's go a bit lower time frame to see this. Here we have a 5-wave structure that looks very decent. We have divergences forming, third of third against the third of fifth, and here divergence as well. So again, in my opinion, that looks very decent as a wave 1 of that C. So we would be labeling this like so, and this would be 1 degree lower. So wave 1, 2, another 1, 2, 1, 2. We can see that we are not creating new lows here on RSI, which means that we are either creating a diagonal overall in here, or we are creating multiple 1, 2, 1, 2s. That is definitely not clear yet, but again, both are the options. So another 1, 2 somewhere in here. Let's label the higher degree ones first, and potential 1, 2, 1, 2. So here internally we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would most likely be a third of this degree at the moment. So I'm still expecting 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, oops, and 5. So a bit higher. And as we can see, the expectation here would be going past the 1.618, even on a log scale. That is possible on altcoins, that they can still rally up higher in a C wave, even beyond the 1.618 extension. However, again, generally that is starting to favor the third wave instead. So that is the bearish scenario. However, what we are seeking here is creating more divergences all around. We currently have one, potentially smaller time frame has another one here. It doesn't. it just has one here. But we came back to previous consolidation area here, potentially closer to the point of control of this range, tagged it perfectly and pushed up yet again another 30%. That is massive, just so small in time, or short in time, and yeah, potentially creating this fifth leg next. But that's the bearish scenario. Let's take a look at the more bullish one, and easily that is done by changing to regular or arithmetic time frame, having this same as a, instead of an A, we would have this as a 1 and 2, and this pretty easily gives us that same scenario where this instead would be a third wave here, instead of that C wave, looking for fourth wave and fifth wave. Again, these extensions, or the expected extensions here, are not really up to scale. What we can see here is that we already had an extension on fourth, and let's see how much did this retrace. So we would be looking for the target of 23.6 to 38.2. We hit that 38.2 for that fourth wave, so this is potentially very well done already. And then looking for that fifth wave here, fourth, and this higher degree wave force should not really come past this previous wave force. They could even create divergences here, even if we are creating higher structures, but again, this would generally mean that it needs more of a dump like we had here, and that should be seen on smaller time frame, because again, like here, because again, this was such a dump. Again, RSI is not considering even the wick, it's just considering the closes of the candles, so keep that in mind. Generally, if we are using the session settings here, we could even use the low, and you can see how low the RSI went. I'm still experimenting with this instead of the closes, but I'm not quite sure if I like this. I might create an updated thing on video on this on my indicator on the Patreon, but we'll see about that later. But overall, again, this looks really decent to me. I think we are still having at least one more high for that potential C wave. If we are using a couple more highs for the fourth and fifth wave, then 2 more highs, and again, this can extend further. Let's take a look at some of the targets again, as we had an extension here on fourth wave. Let's actually use this one here. The expectation is somewhat comparable to wave 1. Extended. This is already needs to extend as well to even get past the targets. So in that scenario, I would be using the higher degree, like so, and these would be the targets, $8 and basically $10. Those are the areas I would be interested in. 1-to-1 is not even taking at the high, so that's why I'm not even considering it. But yeah, these 1.618 extension is the one to look for. And then again, smaller time frame, if we are looking at that, we can see that we are getting really bullish signals here, as long as we can keep these lows. Again, how would you be looking for a trade here? Is looking for a 3-way structure coming down. Like here, we have already coming down into a support zone. We don't want it to break this. If we come back into an area of interest for us, then we can be looking for a long opportunity right around the point of control right now, or actually the range value area low. If we want to be playing against this low here, I would need us to come back down here on a 6.45-ish for it to have a good risk to reward ratio. But again, if we are just playing with the idea that, okay, we have this kind of structure here, we would be looking to play against potentially the 2-to-1 extension and have something. We did not hit the 1-to-1 yet. Maybe even here, try to take out the liquidity that we have lying here below 6.66, and this would give us a better risk to reward ratio. And if this indeed is a 1-2-1-2 and the expectations here on higher time frame are higher into those areas that I was talking about, the 8.0, then again these are really nice trade opportunities overall. But again, I'm going to be covering that on Discord locally for the potential setups if they are appearing. But overall, I don't think there is much more to this macro at the moment than this one. So again, hope you enjoyed and got something out of this video. A bit different one as we're doing this live, but hopefully again that is making you consider that this is some valuable content as well. If you're interested in getting those signals, as I mentioned, check us out on countertrendcapital.com. And if you're interested in smaller fees on your trading journey, check out our partner BitUnix. That's all for now. Thanks for watching and catch you again next video. Bye bye.